My beloved child, before you think about everything waiting for you today, come and sit with me for a little while. There is no need to rush. The world has already asked so much of your heart. It has filled your mind with questions, your hands with responsibilities, and your shoulders with burdens that seem to grow heavier with each passing day. But for this moment, simply be still. Imagine the first light of morning stretching across the horizon. The sky awakens quietly without hurry. The gentle breeze carries away the silence of the night, and all of creation prepares to welcome a brand new day. Come and watch it with me. You do not have to prove anything here. You do not have to explain your pain before I understand it. You do not have to pretend to be stronger than you truly feel. Just let your heart rest beside mine. I have been waiting for this quiet moment with you. Long before the sun touched the earth today, I was already thinking of you. Before your eyes opened, my love was surrounding you. Before your first breath this morning, my mercy had already gone before you. So, set aside your worries for just a little while. The unfinished tasks can wait. The unanswered questions can wait. Even the fears that have followed you for so long can remain silent for these next few moments. Listen not with anxious thoughts, but with an open heart. For I am not here to condemn you. I am not here to remind you of your failures. I am here because I love you. Every word you are about to hear comes from a heart that has never stopped caring for you. So breathe slowly. Quiet your soul. Let my peace settle gently over every restless place within you. Today, I simply want to remind you of something your weary heart may have begun to forget. You have never been alone. I know there were moments when it certainly felt that way. There were days when the silence around you seemed louder than my voice. There were nights when you lay awake, staring into the darkness, wondering how much longer you could keep carrying everything that rested upon your shoulders. You searched for answers. You searched for strength. Sometimes, you even searched for me. And all along, I was closer than your next breath. My child, I know how tired you have become. Not only the tiredness that sleep cannot fix, but the quiet weariness that settles deep within the heart. The kind that comes from carrying responsibilities day after day. The kind that grows when you keep giving to others while quietly setting aside your own needs. The kind that whispers, just keep going, even when every part of you longs for a place to rest. I have seen every step of your journey. I saw the mornings when you rose before you felt ready because someone was depending on you. I saw the moments when you chose kindness, even though your own heart was aching. I saw the prayers you spoke with confidence, and I also heard the prayers that never became words at all, only sighs, tears, and silent hopes that you believed no one else could understand. I understood every one of them. There has never been a single moment when I looked away from you. When others noticed only your smile, I saw the weight hidden behind it. When others believed you were doing just fine, I knew the questions that quietly filled your mind. When you encouraged those around you while secretly wondering who would encourage you, I was already drawing near to your heart. You never had to earn my attention. You have always had it. Sometimes you have been hard on yourself. You looked at everything that remained unfinished and forgot to notice how far you had already come. You compared your life with the lives of others, and quietly wondered why your path seemed so much harder. You questioned your own strength because you measured yourself by what you could no longer carry, instead of remembering how much you had already endured. But I have never measured you that way. I do not look at your life through the eyes of pressure. I look at you through the eyes of perfect love. I see a heart that has continued to hope, even after disappointment. I see a spirit that has continued to care, even after being hurt. I see someone who has kept walking, even when the road felt lonely. Do not mistake your weariness for weakness. The fact that you are tired does not mean you are failing. It means you have been carrying more than you were ever meant to carry by yourself. That is why I am speaking to you today. Not to place another burden upon your shoulders, not to remind you of everything you still need to do, but to gently lift your eyes away from the weight you have been holding for so long. Come closer to me. You do not have to hide the parts of your heart that feel worn out. You do not have to pretend that everything is fine so that I will welcome you. I welcomed you long before you found the strength to come. Bring me your questions. Bring me your disappointment. Bring me the dreams that seem delayed. Bring me the fears you have carried in silence. There is nothing you could place into my hands that would cause me to love you less. My child, I know your limits better than you do. I never created you to live every day exhausted, anxious, and afraid that everything depends upon your own strength. Yet so often, that is exactly how you have been trying to live. You have carried tomorrow before tomorrow arrived. You have replayed yesterday long after it had passed. And somewhere between those two places, you forgot that I am with you in this present moment. So let your heart slow down. You do not have to solve your entire future today. You do not have to carry every answer before the next step becomes clear. Simply stay close to me. Walk with me one step at a time. For the one who has faithfully walked beside you through every yesterday will also be faithful in every tomorrow. This is not simply a promise for the days ahead. It is the truth that has quietly surrounded your entire life. There have been many moments when you questioned where I was. You looked at the difficulties before you and wondered why. My hands seemed hidden. You searched for signs that I was working, yet all you could see were closed doors, unanswered prayers, and roads that stretched farther than you expected. But my child, my presence has never depended on what your eyes could see. I have been with you in every season. I was there when your heart overflowed with joy, and I remained just as close when sorrow found its way into your life. I stood beside you during the victories you celebrated, and I stayed beside you through the disappointments you wished had never happened. I never chose only your brightest days. I chose all of them. I walked beside you when you took confident steps forward. I also walked beside you when you hesitated, unsure of which direction to take. Even when fear whispered that you were facing life alone, my hand never released yours. You may remember times when you felt abandoned. I remember those same moments differently. I remember protecting you from things you never knew were coming. I remember strengthening your heart when you believed you had no strength left. I remember opening small paths that seemed ordinary to you but were carefully prepared by my loving hands. So many of my blessings arrived quietly, not with great applause, not with dramatic signs, but like the gentle light of dawn that slowly fills the sky until darkness quietly disappears. That is often how I work. You sometimes expect me to move like thunder, yet many times I choose to move like the morning breeze. Soft enough that you must slow down to notice, gentle enough that your heart learns to trust instead of merely being amazed. Do not mistake my gentleness for my absence. I am still working, even now. While you are listening to my voice, I am arranging things you cannot yet see. I am opening conversations that have not yet happened. I am preparing answers that have not yet arrived. I am strengthening you for blessings that require a stronger heart than the one you carried yesterday. Nothing in your future catches me by surprise. You have wondered if you will have enough strength. I already know that I will provide it. You have wondered whether the right door will ever open. I already know which doors are meant for you and which ones are acts of my protection. You have wondered whether the waiting has been wasted. My beloved child, nothing surrendered into my hands is ever wasted. Every prayer, every tear, every lesson, every disappointment, I have gathered them all. Even the seasons you wish you could erase have become part of the beautiful story I am writing through your life. You see isolated moments. I see the entire journey. That is why I ask you not to judge your life by one difficult chapter. A single storm does not define the whole voyage. A single winter does not cancel the coming spring. And one painful season does not erase the countless ways I have loved you from the very beginning. Look back for a moment. There were burdens you thought would destroy you, yet here you are. There were nights you believed you would never survive, yet I carried you through them. There were situations that seemed impossible, yet somehow, step by step, I continued leading you forward. It was not because you possessed extraordinary strength. It was because my faithfulness never failed, and it never will. The same God who watched over your first breath is watching over this very moment. The same hands that have guided you through every uncertain season are still holding your future with perfect wisdom. You do not have to understand everything in order to trust me. You do not have to know every answer before taking the next step. Simply remember this whenever fear begins to speak louder than faith. I am here. When the morning begins, I am here. When the afternoon feels heavy, I am here. When the night grows quiet and your thoughts refuse to rest, I am here. I am closer than your worries, closer than your doubts, closer than the tears you try so hard to hide. And because I am here, hope is never farther away than my presence. So do not let your heart be troubled by everything you cannot control. Lift your eyes to me again, not because every circumstance has already changed, but because I have never changed. My love remains steadfast. My promises remain true. My presence remains constant, and it always will. As you continue walking with me, you will begin to discover that the greatest peace does not come from having complete control over your life. It comes from gently placing what you cannot carry into the hands that have never failed you. For so long, my child, you have tried to carry everything by yourself. You carried responsibilities that belong to today. Then you carried worries that belong to tomorrow. And before you realized it, you also began carrying the weight of yesterday, the regrets, the memories, the words you wished you had spoken differently, and the moments you wished you could somehow change. No wonder your heart has grown weary. I never asked you to carry all of that alone. When I created you, I did not create you to be the source of your own peace. I created you to find your peace in me. Yet I know how easily your heart slips into believing that everything depends upon you. You tell yourself that if you think a little harder, you will find every answer. If you work a little longer, everything will finally be enough. If you worry enough, perhaps you can somehow prevent tomorrow's troubles before they arrive. But worry has never carried anyone safely into the future. It has only stolen the quiet beauty of the present. Look at the flowers that bloom across the fields. They do not wake each morning wondering if they will have enough beauty for the day. Look at the birds that fill the morning sky with their songs. They do not spend the night fearing whether tomorrow's sunrise will come. Everything I have created lives within the rhythm I designed. Only my precious children so often step outside that rhythm, believing they must carry what was always meant to be placed into my hands. Come back to that rhythm. Come back to me. Bring me the burden that has quietly followed you from one day to the next. Perhaps it is concern for someone you deeply love. Perhaps it is a financial weight that seems impossible to overcome. Perhaps it is uncertainty about your future, or perhaps it is simply an exhaustion that you cannot fully explain. Whatever it is, you do not have to carry it by yourself any longer. Place it into my hands. Not because the burden is small, but because my strength is greater. There is nothing you could ever entrust to me that would be too heavy for my love. I have carried nations. I have spoken stars into existence. I have held oceans within their boundaries. Surely I can carry the burden that has been keeping you awake at night. Sometimes you hesitate to release your worries because they have become so familiar. You have carried them for so long that they almost feel like a part of who you are. But your burdens are not your identity. Your fears are not your name. Your anxiety is not the story I have written about your life. You belong to me. That is your identity. You are loved. You are seen. You are known completely. And because you are mine, you never have to prove your worth by carrying impossible weights. There is a beautiful freedom that comes when you finally stop trying to control everything you cannot change. Freedom is not found in having every answer. Freedom is found in trusting the one who already does. You may not know what tomorrow holds. I do. You may not understand why certain doors have remained closed. I do. You may wonder why the path has taken longer than you expected. I know every reason, and I promise you this. My delays are never signs that I have forgotten you. Many times, they are quiet acts of love that your heart will only understand later. Trust me, even in the waiting. Trust me when the road seems longer than you hoped. Trust me when the answers arrive more slowly than you expected. I am never late. I am always working according to a wisdom far greater than human understanding. Even now, while you cannot see the whole picture, I am carefully arranging every piece with perfect love. So loosen your grip, my child. You do not have to hold on so tightly to every outcome. You do not have to force every door open. You do not have to exhaust yourself trying to make everything happen according to your own timing. Rest, not because every problem has disappeared, but because I am bigger than every problem you face. Let your breathing become slower. Let your shoulders become lighter. Let your heart remember what it has forgotten so many times before. You are not walking toward an uncertain future by yourself. You are walking with the God who already stands in every tomorrow. And as you begin to release what has weighed down your soul, you will discover something precious that has been waiting quietly beneath all your worries. The peace I have been offering you all along. My precious child, there is something I want you to understand. So much of your fear has never come from what is happening today. It has come from imagining everything that might happen tomorrow. Your mind has wandered into days that have not yet arrived. It has created conversations that have never taken place. It has rehearsed disappointments that may never come. Little by little, your heart has become tired, not because of the present moment, but because of the future you have tried to carry before its time. I never intended for you to live that way. Tomorrow does not belong to you. It belongs to me. Just as the sunrise arrives without your command and the stars appear each evening without your effort, tomorrow will unfold according to my loving care. You do not have to hold it together before it even begins. I know there are questions resting quietly inside your heart. Will everything be all right? Will I have enough? Will my family be safe? Will this season ever change? Will the prayer I have whispered for so long finally be answered? I have heard every one of those questions. Not once have they been ignored. I understand why they rise within you. You want certainty because uncertainty feels uncomfortable. You want clear answers because waiting often feels lonely. You want to see the entire road before taking the next step. But, my child, if you could already see everything ahead, you would never discover how faithful I truly am. Faith grows where certainty ends. Trust becomes beautiful when it chooses to walk even without seeing the whole path. Think about all the times you believed you would not make it through. There were seasons that seemed impossible, moments when you thought the burden was too heavy, days when the future looked completely uncertain. Yet somehow, one sunrise followed another. One step became two. One week became another month. And here you are today. Was it because everything happened exactly as you planned? No. It was because I continued walking with you. Even when your strength became small, mine never did. Even when your courage faded, my presence remained constant. The same will be true for every tomorrow that is still waiting. Do not spend today's peace worrying about tomorrow's possibilities. The grace I give you today is meant for today. The strength I provide tomorrow will arrive tomorrow. You have often tried to borrow strength for days that have not yet come, and that is why your heart has felt so exhausted. Live this day with me. When tomorrow arrives, I will already be there waiting for you. There is nowhere you can go where my love has not gone first. Before you face a challenge, I am already preparing your heart. Before you meet a closed door, I already know the one that will open. Before tears ever reach your eyes, my compassion is already surrounding you. Nothing surprises me. Nothing catches me unprepared. Nothing enters your life without first passing through my loving hands. This does not mean your journey will always be easy. There will still be moments that stretch your faith. There will still be seasons of waiting. There will still be prayers that require patience. But you never have to mistake waiting for abandonment. When a seed is hidden beneath the soil, it may appear that nothing is happening. Yet beneath the surface, life is quietly growing. Roots are reaching deeper. Strength is forming where no human eye can see. In much the same way, I am working in places beyond your sight. You may not see the answers today. You may not understand my timing today. But my silence has never meant my absence. While you are waiting, I am preparing. While you are praying, I am moving. While you are trusting, I am weaving together countless details that will one day reveal my goodness more clearly than you can imagine now. So when fear knocks at the door of your heart, do not invite it to stay. Instead, remember whose hands are holding your future. Remember who has carried you through every season before this one. Remember that my faithfulness has never depended upon your ability to understand my plans. It has always rested upon my unchanging love. Lift your eyes from the uncertainties that surround you. Look instead toward the one who remains the same yesterday, today, and forever. Walk through this day with quiet confidence. Smile when you can. Rest when you need to. Pray without rushing. Trust without demanding every answer. For I will never ask you to face tomorrow alone, because I have already gone before you, and I will continue walking beside you every step of the way. My beloved child, I know how easily your thoughts drift toward tomorrow. You wonder what will happen next. You wonder if you will have enough strength, enough wisdom, enough provision. You replay every possibility in your mind, hoping that if you think long enough, you can protect yourself from disappointment. But, my child, tomorrow has never rested in your hands. It has always rested in mine. Long before this day began, I already knew every moment you would live. Nothing waiting ahead can surprise me. Nothing can appear without my knowledge. Nothing can separate you from my care. You may not know what tomorrow holds, but you know the one who holds tomorrow, and that is enough. Do not let fear convince you that uncertainty is the same as danger. There are many things you do not know, yet there is nothing I do not know. I already see the answers before you ask the questions. I already know the needs before they arise. I already understand the burdens that have not yet reached your shoulders. That is why I ask you to place your future into my hands instead of carrying it alone. You were never created to bear the weight of every unknown. That burden is too heavy for your heart. When you try to carry it by yourself, peace slowly gives way to anxiety. Joy becomes difficult to find. Hope begins to feel distant. But when you trust me, you are reminded that you do not walk into tomorrow by yourself. I walk before you. Every step you take has already been seen by my eyes. Every road has already been measured by my wisdom. Even the places that seem uncertain to you are completely known to me. There will be days when unexpected challenges appear, but there will also be grace you did not expect, strength you did not know you possessed, kindness from people you never imagined would help you, doors opening at the exact moment you needed them. I have countless ways of caring for you that you have not yet discovered. So do not write fearful stories about a future that has not arrived. Do not allow your imagination to become louder than my promises. When fear begins to whisper, return your thoughts to me. Remember how faithfully I have carried you until now. There were seasons you thought you would never survive. Yet here you are. There were nights you believed the darkness would never end. Yet I brought you into another morning. The same hands that held you then are holding you now, and they will still be holding you tomorrow. My faithfulness is not limited to one season of your life. It does not disappear when circumstances become difficult. It does not grow weaker when your strength does. My love remains steady, yesterday, today, and every tomorrow that is still waiting. So breathe deeply, my beloved. Release the future you have been trying so hard to control. You do not need to know every answer before taking the next step. You only need to keep walking with me. One faithful step is enough. One quiet prayer is enough. One simple act of trust is enough. For as you continue following my voice, you will discover that the future you feared was never outside my care. I was already there before you arrived, waiting for you, leading you, and preparing every step with perfect love. My beloved child, one of the hardest lessons for the human heart is learning to trust what it cannot yet see. You often believe that if nothing appears to be changing, then nothing must be happening. But that has never been the way I work. The greatest miracles I create often begin in silence. Long before a flower blooms, its roots are quietly reaching deeper into the soil. Long before the dawn brightens the horizon, the night slowly begins to surrender its darkness. Long before a harvest fills the fields, countless unseen days of growth have already taken place. In the same way, I am doing many things in your life that your eyes cannot yet recognize. Do not let silence convince you that I have stopped moving. Do not let waiting persuade you that I have forgotten my promises. There are seasons when I work openly for everyone to see, and there are seasons when I work gently beneath the surface, shaping hearts, opening paths, and preparing blessings that could not arrive before their appointed time. This may be one of those seasons for you. I know you have prayed. I know you have waited. I know there have been moments when you quietly wondered whether your prayers had simply disappeared into the silence. They have not. Every prayer has reached my heart. Every whispered hope has been heard. Every tear has been precious in my sight. Not one has been ignored. While you have been praying, I have been preparing opportunities that you cannot yet imagine. preparing people whose lives will cross your path at exactly the right moment, preparing your own heart so that when my answer arrives, you will be ready to receive it with wisdom, gratitude, and peace. Sometimes, my greatest act of love is not saying yes immediately. Sometimes it is allowing time to accomplish what hurried answers never could. If I gave you everything the moment you asked, you might receive the blessing before your heart was prepared to carry it. So I work patiently, not because I enjoy making you wait, but because I love you too deeply to give you less than my very best. Remember how many times you have looked back on your life and realized that what once felt like a disappointment later became a hidden blessing. The door that remained closed protected you from a place you were never meant to stay. The delay you once resisted gave you wisdom you desperately needed. The unexpected change that frightened you eventually led you somewhere far more beautiful than you had imagined. At the time, none of it made sense. Now you can see my fingerprints all over those moments. One day you will look back on this season with the same understanding. You will realize that I was never absent. I was arranging details beyond your sight. There are pieces of your story that are coming together even now, like a beautiful tapestry being woven one thread at a time. You only see the strand that is directly before you, but I see the entire design. I know where every thread belongs. Even the dark-colored threads have a purpose. Even the painful experiences you wish had never happened are being woven into something that will one day reveal my goodness in ways you cannot yet comprehend. So do not lose heart because the picture is incomplete. A masterpiece is never understood by looking at only one corner of the canvas. Trust the artist who already sees the finished work. There is no wasted season with me. The quiet seasons teach patience. The difficult seasons deepen compassion. The uncertain seasons strengthen faith. The joyful seasons remind you to give thanks. Every part of your journey is becoming part of the beautiful person I am shaping you to be. You are growing even when you cannot feel yourself growing. You are becoming stronger even when you still feel weak. You are learning to trust me in ways that would have been impossible if every road had been easy. That is why I ask you not to become discouraged by what you cannot yet understand. You do not need to force my timing. You do not need to open the doors I have not yet opened. You do not need to rush ahead of me because you fear that waiting means losing something. Nothing I have planned for you can be stolen by delay. What I have prepared for you remains secure in my hands. No missed opportunity is beyond my ability to restore. No broken dream is beyond my power to redeem. No season of waiting is beyond my ability to transform into a testimony of my faithfulness. So keep walking with quiet confidence. Keep praying with a hopeful heart. Keep trusting even when your eyes cannot yet see what I am doing. For every day that passes is another day in which my loving hands continue working on your behalf. And when the time is right, you will discover that I was never asking you to understand every step of the journey. I was simply inviting you to trust the one who has been faithfully leading you all along. My beloved child, there is another burden I long to lift from your heart. It is the burden of believing you are not enough. You may not say those words aloud, but I have heard them in the quiet places of your soul. You have wondered if you have failed too many times. You have questioned whether you should be further along by now. You have looked at others and quietly compared their journey with your own, believing somehow that you have fallen behind. But my child, I have never compared you with anyone else. Why then do you compare yourself? I did not create you to become a copy of another person. I created you with a purpose that belongs to you alone. The path I prepared for you has never looked exactly like anyone else's. The timing I have chosen for your life has never been meant to follow another person's calendar. So stop measuring your worth by someone else's story. Look instead at how I see you. When I look at you, I do not begin with your mistakes. I begin with my love. I do not define you by the prayers that have not yet been answered. I define you by the fact that you are my beloved child. The world often tells you that your value must be earned. It tells you that you must accomplish more, own more, become more, and prove yourself over and over again before you deserve to feel secure. But my love has never spoken that language. Before you accomplished anything, I loved you. Before anyone applauded your efforts, I delighted in you. Before you ever wondered whether you were enough, I had already called you mine. Nothing has changed. You may see broken places within yourself. I see places where my grace is gently restoring what life has wounded. You may see weakness. I see a heart that has continued to seek me despite every disappointment. You may see delays. I see a journey unfolding exactly as it needs to. There are parts of yourself you wish you could hide. The fears, the doubts, the moments when your faith has felt small. The regrets you still carry. Yet none of those things have ever caused me to turn away from you. I have always known every part of your heart. There has never been a surprise waiting for me inside your life. And because I know you completely, my love for you is complete as well. Do not allow shame to convince you that you must keep your distance from me. Shame tells you to hide. My love invites you to come closer. Shame reminds you of yesterday. My grace reminds you that I am making all things new. The enemy wants you to spend your life looking backward. I gently lift your eyes toward the hope that is still ahead. You are not the person you were years ago. I have been quietly transforming you, often in ways you have not even noticed. The compassion you now carry did not appear overnight. The patience you have learned came through seasons you once wished would end. The wisdom you now possess has been shaped by both joy and sorrow. Even your tears have become part of the beautiful work I am doing within you. Never underestimate the quiet work of my spirit. Not every transformation happens in dramatic moments. Many of the deepest changes happen one ordinary day at a time. One act of trust, one whispered prayer, one choice to keep believing, one decision to forgive, one small step of faith after another. That is how I shape a heart. So be patient with yourself. I have never rushed my work. The gardener does not become frustrated because the tree is still growing. He continues watering it. He continues caring for it. He knows that growth takes time. In the same way, I am patiently caring for your soul. I am not discouraged by where you are today because I already see who you are becoming. And what I see fills my heart with joy. You are becoming gentler, stronger, more compassionate, more willing to trust me than you were before. Perhaps the changes seem small to you, but I notice every one of them. Nothing done in faith is ever insignificant. Every quiet act of obedience, every moment you choose kindness, every prayer you whisper when no one else is listening, every time you rise again after disappointment, I see it all. And I smile with delight over the beautiful work my love is accomplishing within you. So release the harsh words you have spoken over yourself. Stop agreeing with the voice that says you will never be enough. That voice has never come from me. Listen instead to what I have been speaking over you since the very beginning. You are chosen. You are precious. You are deeply loved. You are never forgotten. You are never beyond my grace. And you are becoming exactly the person I created you to be, one faithful step at a time. So walk forward with confidence, not because you believe in your own perfection, but because you are learning to rest in my unfailing love, a love that has never stopped shaping your life and never will. My beloved child, there is something I gently want to remind your heart today. You do not have to see the entire journey before you take the next step. So often, you have stood still because you wanted complete certainty. You wanted to know how everything would unfold. You wanted every question answered before you moved forward. But if I revealed the whole road at once, you might begin trusting the road more than the one who is leading you. That has never been my desire. I have always invited you into a relationship of trust, one step, then another. Just as a lamp lights only the path directly ahead, my guidance often comes one step at a time. I give you enough light for today because I know that is all you truly need. Tomorrow's light will arrive when tomorrow becomes today. There is a quiet freedom in living this way. You no longer have to exhaust yourself trying to predict every possibility. You no longer have to fear what has not yet happened. Instead, you simply ask, Lord, what would you have me do today? And then you walk with me. That is enough. Sometimes you believe that small steps are not important. You imagine that only great victories matter. But, my child, I delight in every faithful step you take. I see the moment you choose hope instead of despair. I see the moment you speak gently when frustration could have taken over. I see the moment you offer forgiveness even while your heart is still healing. I see the moment you whisper a simple prayer because that is all the strength you have left. Those moments are precious to me. They may seem ordinary to the world. They are never ordinary in my eyes. A strong tree does not appear in a single day. It grows little by little. Its roots stretch deeper with every season. Its trunk becomes stronger through years of wind and rain. In the same way, your faith is growing. Not all at once, but steadily. Every season you have walked through has strengthened something inside you. The difficult days have taught you perseverance. The waiting seasons have taught you patience. The joyful moments have reminded you to be thankful. Even the seasons that brought tears have softened your heart, allowing you to love others more deeply than before. None of it has been wasted. Sometimes you become discouraged because you feel you are moving too slowly. You look behind and wish you had started sooner. You look ahead and feel overwhelmed by how far there is still to go. But I am not asking you to live in yesterday. Neither am I asking you to race into tomorrow. I am inviting you to walk with me today. This very moment is where my grace is waiting for you. Not in the past. Not in the future. Right here. Do not underestimate what I can accomplish through a heart that simply remains faithful day after day. Faithfulness may seem quiet. It rarely draws attention. Yet it is one of the most beautiful offerings you can bring to me. When you continue trusting me after a long season of waiting, that is faithfulness. When you continue showing kindness after being hurt, that is faithfulness. When you continue praying even though the answer has not yet appeared, that is faithfulness. And I see every bit of it. Never think that your quiet obedience goes unnoticed. I celebrate the victories that no one else sees. The decision not to give up. The choice to believe again. The courage to begin again after disappointment. The willingness to love even after your own heart has been wounded. These are beautiful in my sight. There may still be hills to climb. There may still be valleys to cross. There may still be days when your strength feels small. But remember this, my beloved child, you are not climbing alone. When the path becomes steep, I will strengthen you. When your feet become tired, I will sustain you. When the road seems uncertain, I will continue leading you with my gentle hand. You do not need to rush ahead. You will not miss what I have prepared for you by walking at the pace of my peace. My timing has never been hurried. The sunrise never arrives too early. The changing seasons never lose their order. Everything unfolds exactly when it should. Allow your life to rest in that same confidence. Take today's step with hope. Leave tomorrow in my hands. Trust that I know exactly where I am leading you. One day, you will look back and realize that what seemed like countless small steps were actually leading you toward a destination more beautiful than you ever imagined. Until then, keep your eyes on me. Walk with a peaceful heart. Receive each new day as my gift. And never forget that every step you take in faith brings you closer to the beautiful future I have been lovingly preparing for you since the very beginning. My beloved child, after everything we have shared together, I want you to hold on to one truth above all the others. My love for you has never depended on the changing seasons of your life. It has never become greater when you succeeded. It has never become smaller when you stumbled. It has never faded during the days when your faith felt weak. My love has remained constant because my heart toward you has never changed. The world around you changes so quickly. People change. Circumstances change. Feelings rise and fall like the waves of the sea. One day you may feel confident, and the next you may find yourself questioning everything. But I am not like the world. I do not love you according to your performance. I love you according to my own faithful nature. That is why you can rest in me. You never have to wake up wondering whether I still care for you today. You never have to fear that one difficult season has somehow separated you from my compassion. You never have to earn what I freely give. My love has always been a gift. Think about a father watching his little child learn to walk. The child takes a few careful steps, then suddenly falls. A loving father does not turn away because of the fall. He reaches out with gentle hands. He smiles with encouragement. He patiently invites the child to stand again. That is how I look upon you. When you stumble, I do not abandon you. When your faith grows weary, I remain faithful. When you become discouraged, I speak hope over your life even before you find the strength to believe it yourself. I have never expected perfection from you. I have always desired your heart. Your willingness to keep coming back to me is more precious than flawless performance. Every time you whisper my name, every time you choose to trust me again, every time you decide not to give up, heaven rejoices over the beautiful work. My grace is continuing within you. Do not allow guilt to build walls that my love has already torn down. Do not allow regret to convince you that your best days are behind you. I am the God of new beginnings. Every sunrise quietly declares my mercy once again. Every new day is another invitation to walk with me. You are not trapped by yesterday. You are not defined by the chapters that brought you pain. Your story is still being written, and I am writing it with hands full of wisdom, patience, and unfailing love. Perhaps there are still prayers you carry, dreams that have not yet come to life, questions that remain unanswered. Bring them to me again. Not because I have forgotten them, but because I delight in hearing your voice. Prayer has never been merely about receiving answers. It has always been about drawing your heart closer to mine. The closer you walk with me, the more you will discover that my greatest gift has never been the things I can place into your hands. My greatest gift has always been my presence. Because where I am, hope lives. Where I am, peace remains. Where I am, fear begins to lose its power. Where I am, weary hearts discover that they can breathe again. So when tomorrow comes, do not begin your day by looking first at your worries. Look toward me. Before you listen to the voices of fear, listen for my voice. Before you measure the size of your problems, remember the greatness of my love. Let my promises become the first truth your heart believes each morning. Walk through your days knowing that I am beside you. Rest each evening knowing that I am watching over you. And when the road ahead seems uncertain once again, return to this simple truth that has carried my children through every generation. I am with you. I have always been with you, and I will always be with you. Nothing you face will ever be greater than the love I have for you. Nothing that lies ahead will ever separate you from my care. So lift your heart with quiet confidence. Receive this day as my gift. Receive my peace as your strength. Receive my love as the firm foundation beneath every step you take. And continue walking forward without fear, knowing that every moment of your journey is safely held within the everlasting embrace of my unfailing love. My beloved child, as our time together draws to a gentle close, I do not want you to leave with a heart that is still searching for certainty. I want you to leave with something far greater. I want you to leave knowing that you are loved, not because life has suddenly become easy, not because every question has been answered, not because every burden has disappeared, but because my love is enough to carry you through every season that still lies ahead. There will be new mornings waiting for you. Some will arrive with laughter. Others may arrive with unexpected challenges. There will be days when your heart feels light, and there will be days when it feels weary once again. That is part of your journey. But no matter what tomorrow brings, one thing will never change. I will still be with you. When the sun rises, my love will already be waiting for you. When the day becomes busy and your thoughts begin to race, my peace will still be available to you. When evening comes and you quietly reflect on everything that happened, my presence will still surround you with the same gentle faithfulness. I do not come and go according to your circumstances. I remain. I remain when your prayers are answered. I remain while you are still waiting. I remain when your heart overflows with gratitude. I remain when tears quietly fall in the silence of the night. I remain because that is who I am. So whenever life begins to feel overwhelming again, do not forget where your heart can return. Return to my presence, not only in moments of desperation. Return to me in moments of joy. Invite me into your ordinary mornings. Speak with me while you walk through your day. Pause to thank me for the quiet blessings that are so easily overlooked. Let our relationship become as natural as breathing. I have never desired to be only the one you call when everything is falling apart. I desire to walk beside you through every ordinary moment of your life. I delight in hearing your voice. I delight in comforting your heart. I delight in reminding you again and again, that you have never been carrying this journey alone. As you continue living the days ahead, there may be moments when fear tries to return. There may be moments when disappointment whispers old lies. There may be days when your strength feels smaller than you hoped. When those moments come, do not believe that you are back where you started. You are not. Every conversation we have shared, every lesson your heart has received, every quiet moment of trust, they have all become part of you. My words do not disappear when this moment ends. They continue living within every heart that chooses to receive them. Allow those words to guide you when the road feels uncertain. Allow my promises to become stronger than your fears. Allow my peace to become the place where your thoughts come to rest. And above all, never forget how precious you are to me. You are not another face in the crowd. You are not overlooked. You are not forgotten. I know your name. I know your story. I know every prayer you have prayed and every dream you still carry within your heart. I know the hopes that make you smile. I know the burdens that still make you cry. And I love every part of you with a love that has no end. So walk into this day with confidence. Walk gently. Walk peacefully. Walk knowing that every step is seen. Every prayer is heard. Every tear is treasured. Every act of faith is remembered. Nothing offered to me is ever wasted. Keep your eyes lifted toward me. Keep your heart open to my voice. Keep trusting, even when you cannot yet see the full picture. One day, you will look back and discover that my goodness was surrounding you in countless ways you never noticed at the time. Until then, continue to rest in my love. Continue to receive my peace. Continue to believe that I am leading you with perfect wisdom, unwavering compassion, and unfailing faithfulness. I will never stop loving you. I will never stop walking beside you. I will never stop watching over you. And I will always welcome you into my presence with open arms. Amen.